Hello. I'm so excited for our second Facebook Live of the day. Welcome everyone to, I already see 6 comments, which is amazing. Welcome everyone. I am so excited for this Facebook Live. So my name is Mila. As everyone knows, I was here in the morning with Matt Lights and Alan Mahoney. They're incredible story about building our Manychat bot and all the tips and tricks and techniques. And this time we have a very special guest, Neil Patel, with us, and our own CEO, Mikhail Yang. I am so excited. I'm channeling all the energy for this intro. For folks who aren't here in the morning, I'm going to just give you a quick overview. Why we do this? What's the theme? And give it out to our guests. So we do them to promote our speakers for Conversations 2019. Why? Because this year's content is going to be absolutely off the charts incredible. Why is it going to be incredible? Well, because we're bringing together the best and the brightest in the industry who know all about messenger marketing from the beginning all the way to the end and then beyond, and what it means for us next year. For Conversations 19 this year, we're expecting around 2,000 attendees. We have content that covers the advanced techniques, integrations, how to build your bot, how to go from advanced to expert, and the most important, the networking aspect to find mentors, to meet like-minded business owners, and to help each other grow your business. We're also hosting a huge bash in Austin on Saturday night, and we're just so excited. So I'm very fun. I'm doing conversations every day. So I have been thinking and breathing and getting more excited every day. And I see a bunch of comments already. We have 60 reactions and 12 comments. Welcome. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Mikhail Yang, our CEO, and Neil, and let them take it away. Hi, guys. So they're going to join us in just momentarily. Boom, boom. Hi, guys.
Hey, Jamila.
Hello.
Hey, everyone. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Wow. Now we're at this live. Neil, thanks for joining us. It's so exciting to have you.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So one thing that I wanted to ask you is, we had this conversation in Los Angeles, and for like, everybody knows you in the marketing world, but for the few people who don't know who you are and what you do, could you briefly describe what you do? And
yeah, sure. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. Almost everything I do revolves around the marketing industry. I have an ad agency called Neil Patel Digital. I blog at neilpatel.com, and I have a free marketing software called Ubersuggest that just helps you with your Google traffic.
Awesome. By the way, guys, for everybody who's watching, if you want to ask some questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll just look from at the comments and make sure to ask some of the things that you would love to ask Neil. So, first question, and let's go high level right from the start. How do you see the future of marketing evolving from the current state? You've been in this industry for so long, and you've seen all the transitions that are happening, different channels opening up, closing down, etc. Can you tell us what are the patterns that you see in the current stage, and where do you see this going?
Yeah, so when I first started, and this is a long time ago, you used to be able to build a business off of one channel. Now, let's go back. So Dropbox built themselves with share this on social media to get more space, right? And if you look at companies like Yelp, they dominated very early on through things like SEO. Now, if you look at companies like Facebook, they grew from the referral program, and it was through emails, right? Your friend invited you to join Facebook. Check out, X pictures or updates or whatever it may be. Those are the channels that built some of those companies. They only needed one channel to do really well. Now the market is very saturated. Doesn't matter what you do, how revolutionary your business is. One channel no longer builds a company anymore. You now have to do SEO, pay-per-click, email marketing. You have to leverage bots like what you guys are doing at Manychat. You guys got to do things like push notifications. You got to do things like worry about where the future is going, such as leveraging skills. You know, on Amazon, there's Alexa, Google Home, all those types of things. Another thing what we're seeing is the market went from one channel used to work really well, and that's how you can build a business, to now you have to leverage many channels to do well. And we're starting to see some of these channels combining, and you'll see the more of that in the future. For example, with Messenger, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's WhatsApp. Eventually, I believe it will be all one solution, right? And then everyone will be using that one solution to communicate with their friends versus calling, text messaging, Skyping, etc. You'll start seeing some of these channels become the dominant players and take over.
Interesting. How do you think you've mentioned Messenger, and you use Messenger marketing, right?
I do.
So can you tell us about the different use cases? How do you leverage Messenger marketing, and how, like, the typical strategies that you employ?
Yeah, so I use Messenger marketing different than most people use Messenger marketing. Most people use Messenger marketing from driving paid traffic, having them subscribe to their Messenger bot, and then just pushing them and selling them from there. I try to take my website traffic, get them to subscribe to my Messenger bot. From there, I start sending them messages to bring them back to my site and convert. The reason I do that is you'll find that whatever you're selling, you're lucky if 1 or 2%, 5% if you're super lucky, of your visitors convert into a customer or a lead. So this allows me to get that 95% plus back and then eventually convert them. And then the open rates are extremely high right now. And then once I'm tagging people and I'm identifying them, I even know things like, hey, this person subscribed to my Messenger bot. They visited my checkout page, but they didn't buy. Let me go send them a message and try to bring them back and complete the purchase.
Got it. So it's interesting. And do you use Messenger to, for example, collect emails and start building other types of connections?
I do. So we try to go after all the channels. So we use Messenger to collect emails. We also will try to get them to subscribe via push notification. We try to leverage as many channels as possible to get people back to our site.
Got it. And how do you, like, is there a way to not over message people if you're having all these channels, and like, I guess it's different systems? Is it hard to manage, or?
It is. It's really easy to over message people and irritate them and get them really pissed off. Eventually, I'm looking for one company who can do all of these solutions and combine them together, because the moment they do that, then I'll get less complaints. And not only that, I'll create a better experience for my customers. My conversion should go up. It's a win-win, but you know, someone has to build it.
Interesting. Do you think that all the businesses should start using like new channels like Messenger marketing, or is it only specific types of businesses? How would you go about that? You have lots of customers in like different industries.
It works for almost any type of industry. I've seen some instances where it doesn't work, like someone telling me like, our customers are the government, and you know, we want to sell them a package for 700 million a year. Like, in those cases, it's not going to work well, but in almost every other single case, it's going to work.
Do you think that I think you already answered this question, but just to like, you're seeing a lot of, I've heard you said that like you're also seeing the high open rates, high CTRs, but then you don't think that people should be only using Messenger, right? It's not like, hey, we should direct all our traffic to this new channel. Can you elaborate on that one?
Sure. So probably a lot of you guys use Manychat. It's a great product. But what you'll find is whether you're using Manychat or using SEO or you're using MailChimp for your emails, it doesn't matter. You don't want to rely on one channel. It's not that MailChimp's a bad company or Manychat's a bad company or Google SEO's bad or Google paid ads or Facebook paid ads is bad. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket because algorithms change. And by diversifying, it ensures that your business is going to be here in the long run. Now, I'm not saying that Messenger chat and Messenger bots are going to go away. It's more so you are going to see changes in the future years, right? We haven't seen Facebook roll out everything that they're eventually planning on rolling out. And what are some of those things? Who knows? But for that reason, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. The second reason is even if Messenger bots are here to stay and nothing's going to change and it works great, you have to remember no matter what you do, not everyone is going to answer you and click on those messages that you're sending them. For that reason, you want multiple touch points. And if you leverage multiple channels, it makes it easier to get a hold of someone and convince them to convert.
There you go. The truth that is spoken on the Manychat's live about how it's important to use multiple channels and not just rely on just a single channel. So can you give us a sneak peek? You're talking at conversations.
Let's back up a little bit. To give you an idea, most people who use you guys' services are buying Facebook ads and sending them to through Messenger on Facebook.
Yes.
I myself use it mainly from using Google traffic and sending them through a Facebook Messenger bot. That's just an example of how not only should you leverage multiple channels, but you can combine these channels to play off of each other and get a much better ROI.
So you're just sending, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was asking, so you're sending actual pay-per-click to Messenger. So
pay-per-click and organic.
Got it. So when you're doing the pay-per-click, is it through a Messenger ref URL? Like, are you sending them directly to us, or do you send them first to a landing page and then converting from that landing page to Messenger?
Correct. Landing page and then from there converting into Messenger.
Because
what we found out is most people are logged into Facebook. If they're logged into Facebook, it works.
Yeah, yeah. So you're speaking at conversations this year, which we are super excited about, and it was the question that I had for you is, without giving too much away, like, could you give us a sneak peek of what people are going to be? A lot of people who are tuning in right now are either coming to the Conversations conference or are thinking about it, and like, what are they going to be? What are they going to hear from you in September?
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about some new age marketing techniques, stuff that people could be leveraging. I'm also going to be talking about trends on where the market is going that most people don't know about.
Got it. Interesting. And I've heard that from our conversations, I remember that you've mentioned that you have a whole team whose job it is, like, the single thing they do is just basically test all the channels that are out there and like look at different conversion rates, at different open rates, and try and find that next thing, that edge that gives you the ability to talk to your customers more efficiently. Is that true?
It is true. We're really big believers on testing because think of it this way: when email was brand new and you started leveraging it, it was super effective. And people's ROI was amazing. When Google AdWords was brand new, your ROI was amazing. I wish I spent so much more money years ago. Same with Facebook ads when it first came out. Even what you guys are doing, it's new. It works amazingly well. Now, fast forward 3-4 years from now, I'll be upfront. It's not going to work as well. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's still going to work. It's like saying Google ads don't work anymore. Well, if they didn't work, how did they generate $100 billion a year from Google ads, right? It's good markets get saturated. So you want to leverage them as fast as possible, as hard as possible. Like the big mistake that most people are going to make that are listening is they're leveraging these chatbots, they're leveraging Facebook Messenger, they're building their list, but they're not going as hard as they can. This is when you spend the most amount of money, build up the biggest list, because you know what? A year from now, I bet you it's going to be harder. So it's like you go all in the early days and it will pay off. You just got to be patient. But you need to be much more aggressive during the early days when you know a channel's working really well and you can crush it with it, versus being slow and steady and seeing continued growth. It's like, no, go all in. It's like if it's converting for you, spend as much as you can, because a year from now will be more expensive.
That's so true. That's what we've been like also talking to market about, is that the first year or the first 2 years of the channel opening up, there's always this stage where like you have the innovators and the early adopters, and as long as you have a lot of competition, you're always going to get better results because nobody's using the channel. But as the channel gets more and more popular, then you're going to get much more people going into it. And one thing that we've noticed with Messenger is that, like, it seems from the, like, when you go into our community and you're like, oh, everybody's using Messenger marketing. Like, if you look at actually the numbers of the number of SMBs in the world, like, it's over 100 million employers, and like, if you count the individual contractors and independent consultants, it's closer to 500 million businesses. And you know how many like people are using? Like, we have over 500,000 connected pages. So that's less than 1% of the total addressable market. And if you think about not only the breadth, the number of accounts, but also the depth, how they're using Messenger, it's like we're only scratching the surface. What are the different channels and strategies that you're using right now that are working well for you that like most people underestimate or not using besides Messenger?
Taboola, Outbrain, they're properties
Really?
you can get a lot of ads from. Super cheap, super effective if you can write really amazing copy. Most people don't use them, but they work so well. Another channel that I've been using, push notifications, those browser notifications. People don't use those that often and they don't think they work, but they work extremely well. It's kind of like what you guys are doing on Messenger. It still works. It's in its early day. Another channel that I love leveraging is giving away free stuff. You know, any type of free product that you can end up giving, you know this really well. It ends up causing a lot of viral organic growth. And in software, it's a bit easier, but you can try to make almost anything freemium or create your own version of it. Amazon's done that with their version of Prime. You know, you get shipping much faster. You pay a one-time fee and you can get it. I do believe they lose money on that in the short run, but in the long run, it makes up for itself. But yeah, you got to figure out how to disrupt the market. And you can do that in any different way. It doesn't have to be a free software. You don't have to build something like Manychat. You can go to Code Canyon and buy something like a calculator script. If you're in the mortgage industry, give it away for free and you only pay like $15, $20, and you'll notice that over time you'll get more traffic, links, and eyeballs from those kind of things. They're small, but they add up.
Because that is unique value. That is not just hey, buy my product, but like, hey, you can use. I'm bringing value. I'm having this. Not only like content is a great example, because content is also, you can think about content as product, as an educational product, and you're giving it away for free. So the person starts to get to know your business. But the things like calculators, etc., I think it's taking it to the next level, where you're actually giving out some features that not a lot of people can actually do so. Interesting. So Taboola, Outbrain, if you're writing content and to drive traffic to that content, right?
I mean the content to sell products and services.
Really?
Yeah, they work really well, and very few people do it compared to what you see on Facebook and Google Ads.
So interesting. You've built a very successful agency with, like, how many offices do you have in the world?
I don't know. We're growing fast, though.
Yeah. like it's amazing like how far that like the question that I had is how would you what would be the advice? We have so many agency partners, or we have a separate agency day at the Conversations Conference, and uh, what would be the advice for agency partners on how to start and scale their business?
If you're an agency, the best way to scale is you have to go, everyone's like, how can you can use tools and stuff like what you guys are offering to start offering more services and streamline stuff, because tools do help make things more efficient. Like if you're an agency that helps bring more traffic, using tools like yours helps quite a bit. But the hardest part about the agency is actually getting the customers. I don't think it's servicing. I really do believe it's getting customers, and you need a unique strategy to get them. One thing that could work for everyone here is go to Crunchbase, find all the recently funded companies, email the CEOs and the board members, because it lists who's the new board member and lead investor, and email them how the company that they just invested in is screwing up and what they can do to change and fix it and make it better, and include the CEO, send the CEO an email as well. And you'll find that you'll generate a lot of business from that strategy. If you send out 3 emails, you should get 1 customer.
Wow.
And give it all away. So like in that email being like, hey, Manychat, I just noticed you raised money from Bessemer. Is that correct?
Bessemer.
Yeah,
that's right.
I know that you raised money from Bessemer. Congrats. I know you have to grow faster, but I don't think you're going to hit your numbers because you're not doing these 3 things right. And I would actually not even do 3. I'd be like, here's the 25 things you're messing up on. And I'll just break them up, show screenshots, showing, so I would be so detailed that they would be like, cool, thank you. I'm just going to go do it on my own. Because the reality is when someone raises money, they need to move fast. So they're just going to probably hire you instead of do it on their own. And then when you email the board member as well and be like, hey, Bessemer, I noticed you invested in Manychat. It's a good company, but I don't think they're going to be as big as they possibly can because of these reasons. And you're breaking down all the things that are wrong. They'll forward it to the CEO, and there's a good chance someone will hire you because you just got this note from your board member.
Nice. Really specific advice. If I would get that message from you, we would have to hire you.
There you go. You guys heard it. If you guys send them a message or Bessemer, you may get a contract.
Interesting. And for the people who are, is there anything in terms of the processes, the way to organize? I know a lot of people struggle with the, like how to structure. I know that you have a really unique approach to how you manage the company. Is it something that is important for the agency to figure out early on or later down the line?
Not necessarily. Each management style could be unique. Different agencies, different companies have different ways. My big thing is I look for people who have done it before at least 2 times. So that way when I hire them the 3rd time, there's a good chance they already know how to do it right. So that way we can provide the best service to our customers, take care of them, and do what's best for them. But I'm a big believer you hire people who have done it more than once. If they've done it just once, there's a good chance it was a fluke. If they haven't done it at all, you don't even know if they can do it. If they did it twice successfully, there's a really good chance that they can continually do it over and over again.
Got it. I'm looking at let's look at the comments, and I see that there's over almost 50 comments now. Matt Lights actually was asking a more specific question about Taboola and Outbrain. Like, which of your products and services are you advertising on those platforms? And are you sending them to advertorials first?
Yeah, we tend to send them to advertorials. We tend to use it for informational-based products. It works extremely well. I'm assuming a lot of your audience sells informational-based products as well.
Yep, for sure.
It's one of the best channels for info products. Everyone just thinks about Facebook ads, but Taboola and Outbrain can do really well for you as long as you send them to good advertorials.
Got it. The Todd Dixon asks, how long have you been using messenger marketing? I remember seeing the first articles by you like really early on.
It's been many, many years, more than like a year or 2. It's been a really long time.
Yeah, the Facebook platform opened up in 2016, so the whole platform itself was basically open for only 3 years, and like you've been writing for at least 2 years, I guess.
I
So
think I
you've
got it
been,
right when it, not right when it started, but close enough.
yeah, yeah,
When Ryan, who's now the CMO of G2, was at
yeah.
HubSpot, he was using messenger marketing right when it first came out, and he told me about it, and that's when I jumped on.
Interesting. One of the things that I wanted to also ask you about is, do you use any, like you said that you use Messenger with email, but do you use, for example, Messenger? And you've also mentioned one thing that I think that most of the people might have like gotten over their head, but like you said that you use browser notifications, like web push, right? It's in. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, how did you test this channel and then figure out that it drives like conversions? And you've mentioned that it's driving more traffic than email for you. I
It is.
remember you said something like that.
I currently get more traffic from browser notifications than I do email. Some
Wow.
months it ranges, but almost most months I get more traffic from browser notifications. And the way I do this is when people release new channels, I test them. Just like when you guys release new channels, I test them. And then
Yeah,
as soon as it works, I just go all in and I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
got it. Do you use? So this is my question. Do you use? Have you tried using Messenger to drive more browser push notification subscriptions?
Have I tried using what?
Messenger to drive more browser push notification subscriptions.
I have, but indirectly. Like I don't just use Messenger being like maybe I can get more push subscribers.
Yeah.
I use Messenger to drive them to content on my site.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when they land on my site for the first time, it does ask them to subscribe through Messenger.
Got it. How do you stay up like with all these channels and with everything moving so fast, and with the companies and with the speaking things, etc.? How do you stay up like with all up to date with all of this, and how do you manage your time?
I learn. I keep reading. I keep learning. So whether I go to conferences like yours, even though
Yeah.
I'm speaking, I bet you all learn something from some of the other speakers, right? Like I look at every opportunity to learn, and I learn. I'll talk to people in the audience, network with them, and learn from them. I don't know everything. There's a lot of people in the audience that I bet you know other things and things better than me. So I'll learn from them. I'll continue to read blogs. I'll continue to see what other people are doing. And I continually have that mindset of you can always be better, you can always learn more, you can always test and try to figure new things out.
Got it. Are you like a as a like I'm sure you're a super busy person, but how do you manage your all of the things like all of your? Do you have a special routine in the morning? Do you like use a time management calendar? Like some of the hacks that people can be more productive and like get to closer to your level.
I don't know if my level's that good, but the way I manage everything is just through Google Calendar.
Really, that's the main tool that works for you.
I keep it
Awesome.
simple. I don't have a lot of fancy tools or anything like that. Still have an old ghetto iPhone. Works well. The point I'm trying to make is like you don't need a lot of. I use tools for marketing. I don't use a lot of tools for my life. I try to keep life simple and cut down on the tools and the apps and all that kind of stuff. In marketing, tools to make my life simpler. But in my personal life, I believe, yeah, these tools and apps could make your life simpler, but it also causes you to do too many things like log into Instagram 10 times a day instead of spending your time, with your family or working or whatever you want to end up doing.
Yeah. By the way, how do you view Instagram in the whole grand scheme of things of marketing? Is it a big channel?
Huge channels. My favorite social network right now. It doesn't produce the biggest ROI for me, but it is my favorite social network because it's personal. Facebook for me isn't as personal as Instagram is, nor is LinkedIn. And I use it on a regular basis. I like seeing pictures of my friends and family. Funny enough, I barely upload them to Facebook these days. They mainly all upload them to Instagram. And it's just what everyone's up to.
Interesting. How do you see businesses, some of your clients, leverage Instagram for driving actual conversions and sales?
More so for B2C, like e-commerce. Other than that, it's very rare that we see it.
E-commerce is a huge, is definitely a huge market for us. Could you tell some of the Instagram e-commerce strategies that you're leveraging and using to drive that outcome for them?
Yeah, so with e-commerce, it's about being targeted and smarter with your messaging. Like, for example, if someone visits your checkout page, but they don't complete the checkout, that's when you want to push them with the messenger notification to get them come back. You can do the same thing with push notifications and get them to come back. When someone's about to leave and they viewed a few products, they didn't add anything to cart, you can potentially offer them coupon codes when they're leaving. There's some enterprise companies like Bounce Exchange for e-commerce. They'll do stuff like tie in the cross-browser user experience, whether someone's on their phone or desktop computer. That helps with better targeting as well. But the big thing that we see with e-commerce is, yeah, you can drive traffic through all these channels. You can leverage paid ads. All that stuff works really well. But what people don't see is, if your landing page isn't amazing, if you don't have a really good image of the product, you don't show the reviews, you don't fix the basic necessities, you're not going to get as many sales. Everyone's like, yeah, let me just show them a product and give them a good price and get them to buy. People want to see amazing images, videos showcasing the product, descriptions that are detailed. They want to put user reviews or see them, real ones. They want good, fast shipping. All those little things add up.
So build your foundation first and don't forget about it before you try to market your landing page.
Correct. Because when you have a shitty foundation in e-commerce, we find that it doesn't work. And then e-commerce ads are expensive. Make sure you have the upsells and downsells. That helps improve your cart value, which then increases your total revenue, and it allows you to be more competitive with paid ads.
Got it. What is the, like, given all the, so we again started to talk about new channels like Instagram, and you've mentioned web push, you've mentioned other things. So how should SMBs think about all of these changes? Like, is there ever going to be like a channel that people can just do and leverage?
So you're saying, is there just going to be one channel for SMBs to leverage?
Yeah, is there going to be like a time where everybody can finally just relax a bit and have a channel that works for them? Because I feel like people are looking back at the email marketing days and they're like, everything was much simpler. You had this list and you did some broadcasts, and maybe at some point you started to do some maybe automation, and now it's just a zoo.
Yeah, I think the zoo is going to get bigger and bigger and worse and worse. And what's really going to matter now is, can companies create applications that are all in one, more simpler, more usable, leverage machine learning and AI to do a lot of the stuff for you, to make the zoo more organized and easier?
I see lots of movement. Like it feels like the whole marketing, like if we're talking about specifically marketing applications, I feel like most of the companies started like, and we're going from one specific channel because that channel was working, and still like most of the companies are very, very specific, and the only ones who are going what is called omni-channel are the big enterprise companies who are providing these services to these giant either retailers or bigger corporations that like try to mix it all together. But yeah, Neil, guys, it's the last chance to ask Neil some questions. We're going to be running for another few minutes. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. Neil, last question that I wanted to ask you is, do you have any, what is the number, like if you have to if you had to give one advice to your kid who is starting a marketing agency, all grown up, and decided to start a marketing agency, what would that advice be?
I would tell them to focus on one offering at the beginning, and then eventually you can expand. So the offering, for example, could be, we help you with your messenger bots. And then you do really well from there, and then eventually you expand into offering email services. And then from there you offer push notification services. Then from there you offer CRO services. I'm making up the order that you should do it, and people should do whatever they're most comfortable with and the best at. But I would focus on a tool, offer that. What you'll find is your churn will be a lot lower if you can just specialize, be really good at something, and get results. It used to be where companies would look for agencies that can do everything and hire them. Now they're looking for agencies who specialize and do one thing extremely well.
So focus, get your offer down, and make sure you're bringing value, and then start to expand. Yeah, I've just talked to a lot of agencies recently, and the ones that are doing really well seem to be following that pattern. I had one that was targeting specifically restaurants and doing like really specific things for restaurants. Another one was really specific with e-commerce. Yeah. So we've got one question from the audience from Todd Dixon, and that is, can you talk about live video for marketing? That's a really broad question. Neil, would you take it?
Yeah, I think live video is amazing. Businesses should focus on it more and more. It works really well right now. I think it'll still work in the future because all these social sites want to compete with television networks. So leverage live video as much as you can. If you're going to go live, don't do one. Do all the platforms at once and try to do it consistently, as in at least once or twice a week.
Got it. So, guys, last thing. We have a special code for Neil. Neil is going to be speaking at Conversations Conference this September from 13th to 15th in Austin, Texas. And the special code is Neil, so comment Neil in the comments to get your discount. And Neil, thanks for being with us. It's so great to have you, and I'm super excited about your talk at the Conversations Conference, and can't wait to see you again in person.
Cool. Same here. It'll be fun.
Thanks, Neil. Bye.